Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Pinder. I'm a product design and architecture teacher based in South London, and I'm passionate about architecture. I'm passionate about education. I teach over 800 students in a week. So as you can see, I have to have a lot of life about me, because unless you have life, you don't transfer to the kids, and the young people don't pick it up. If they don't pick it up, they're not going to learn. So what do? I educate, I empower, I inspire, and from all of these, hopefully they will evolve to be the people and live the best possible life they'll ever live in the creative and architectural field. I create Trojan horses. So Trojan horses are educational tools that are used to inspire young people. I started off actually being the first one in my family ever to get into the creative field. I went to art school, and it was my teacher that inspired me to go into art school. My family, nobody had ever been. While I was at art school, I had to find a way to finance myself, because I came from an inner city, council, socialist state. So what did I do? And you'll see these themes go all the way through my lifestyle. I had to work in clothes shop, and you'll see where it comes out even today. I had to be a DJ, and you'll see the music comes out even today. And most of all, I worked in a primary school, started off doing after-school art clubs. And when you're working with young people as young as 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you will see that you have to have energy. They inspire you, they dream. You can talk to young people and they will tell you what they really, really are thinking. And all you have to do is say to them, draw it, and tell me about it through your drawings. This is how you inspire our young people. So from there, I moved on to secondary school. And from in secondary school, I teach year 7 students. So I teach them architecture. How do I teach them architecture? I teach them about bridge construction. And I show them my fallibility, because I say to them, I'm not that good at maths. I can't calculate loads and loads of things. You might be able to do it better than me. So you see certain students, these are the creative ones. The mathematicians are great, because what I do, I form them into architectural practices. So in each group of 4 or 5, there's a mathematician. There's a person that can write, can scribe. So we call those the English writers. There's the drawers. There's the creators. And there are also the people who stand up and give the presentation. So in one group, we have a TEAM. And there's no I in that team. They work together to produce a bridge. And the Trojan horse of that bridge is that we don't use ordinary weights. We use everyday things like soup, bottles of drink aids to weigh it down. And if it stands up, then you know it's a good bridge. It's made out of 40 straws glued together with a glue gun, and you always get a glue gun person just using the glue like this, and I say, hold off that person. Then you get a person with a pair of scissors who loves cutting, he says, hold off that person, and you bring them all together and make sure that they actually work as a team. They cut together, they glue together, and finally they produce their bridge. And the beautiful thing is that I bring an architect in to judge the bridge. And when you say, I'm bringing an architect into school to judge your bridge, their eyes simply light up. So these are some of the tools that we use at that age. And then at year 9, I enthuse young people again by entering them for competitions in architecture. So they have to choose my subject, architecture, at year 9. We are one of the only schools in the country that actually has architecture on the curriculum. So what do? We enter competitions. We bring architects into school to inspire them. So some of my architects over the years that I've taught, we believe in the circular economy of architectural education. So they come back, they help out, they inspire the young people to become architects. So they design buildings, they design their environment, depending on the theme of the subject that they're given. At this precise moment, I have two groups of students who are studying, who are working hard to redesign their London. So they go out, take pictures of London, they take pictures of greenery, and I form them yet again into architectural practices. But this time, some of the jobs are a bit more specific. For example, I have an anthropologist because I really believe that we need to study human beings. We need to look and see how we behave, how we get on, how we cohabitate. I had a landscape designer, and I think this is really important. I grew up on a council estate, as I've stated before, and the landscape was beautiful. We had trees, we had beautiful trees, we had grass where we used to play football. We had open spaces where there were bushes instead of straight lines of trees with lights on them. And we had public speakers in our architectural groups. We had drawers, we had mathematicians. So all of these students come together yet again as a group in their mind, and they form their practice. And now this time they've got to give their practice a name. And I say, don't use your own name as your practice. Come up with a real original name. So we have bougie names. That's the way we roll. We have bougie names. And so they come up with innovative names. And from there on, they design their own architectural environment. So these people are very embedded in the fact that they can have a say on how their society is developed, how it built, what it looks like. And then it comes to year 11, 10 and 11, they have to choose a subject. Now architecture isn't actually in that school as a subject, so they choose product design. But I say to them, buildings, houses, flats, schools, universities are just products that have to be designed. So we flip it again. And then they choose that hopefully they go on and study and become really good at product design. And at A level, they decide to, well, I think I'd like to go into architecture. That's when I set up mentoring programs. I reach out to architectural practices. I reach out to individuals. And you'll see another theme occurring where I have quite a few friends where I just ring up and say, "Stu, help me out. Can this architect come and speak to this person? Can you engage with this young person and tell them about what you do in architecture?" I have this caveat. There isn't a lot of money in architecture, like teaching. So you have to do it with your passion. You have to do it with your heart. So the people come into school, they're told by young architects. And these young people, then they decide then they want to go to university. And this is where I had to attend another Trojan course. One of my students, absolutely fantastic and amazing. She wanted to go into interior architecture. And then what happened, she went to a school, went to a university and said, "I would like to be an architect." And somebody, and this is the power of the word, we have words can hurt or they can build up. And someone said to her, "You will never become an architect." So she came back to me, absolutely crushed, and said to me, "I don't think I could do it." And in school, the students know I bling a little bit, just a little bit. And I wear white, like I'm wearing white now. And they say to me, one young lady said to me, "Sir, you look like an angel." And I'm thinking, with my angel hat on, what can I do to enhance this young lady? And what can I do to bring her back and infuse her? So I thought of a Trojan horse called GLAM. GLAM stands for Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Architecture and Me. And me is the operative word. So it's about wearable architecture, sustainable wearable architecture. So we devised the program just before the pandemic. to reach out to young people to say, look, we've got this program, and this young lady was getting involved in the program. And then the pandemic happened, we had to go online. And remember I told you about music, dancing? So there was a club called Go Global years ago. And so I flipped it to Glam Goes Global. And then we was on Zoom. And we had all the young people. And so we reached out, because Zoom is such a fantastic way of connecting with people. We've got people in South Africa. We had people in Central America. We had people in the Caribbean. We have people in America. Young people. We have people in the Gambia. We've got involved in designing these wearable pieces of architecture. And the level playing field is, everything has to be from a sustainable background. You have to forage all the material from your recycle bin. You have to get the waste packets of material. You have to get the cardboard, the cups, the empty toilet roll. And it's amazing to see what young people come up with. So what do they come up with? High-heel shoes made out of toilet rolls with paper wrapped around to come up high. People come around with bottles of cages around their heads. And one of the best ones I've seen is this young lady. She said, we're facing a food crisis, and what can we do? And she made a coat that had all recycled cups on it. And inside the recycled cups were vegetables. And she said, you can walk around and you can, when you feel like hungry and you want a snack, you just take a vegetable. And I thought, what a fantastic idea. Another one came up with a shelter where it was in the back and you just pulled it up as a recycle, and you had this massive umbrella sort of recycled canopy over you that you could walk around as a globe. So you see, young people have ideas, and they're full of ideas all the time. You just need to tap into them. And so, henceforth, we came up with another initiative. So I worked out, I said to myself, what can we do to infuse young people who have finished their degree, who would like to go on to study architecture, but who cannot find the money, the resources, and then they get lured away into a different field. They get lured away because in architecture, you have transferable skills. You can do so many different jobs if you're creative, if you have studied architecture. So I sat and thought, instead of these young people going and doing another job, let's see if we can devise a program. And my business partner, Dennis Austin, absolutely a fantastic architect, comes from America, comes from Brooklyn, and I was sitting and I was thinking to myself, what could I do? And I say to all young people, dream. And I say to everybody, dream. And once you dream, write your dreams down. And then, if they still make sense, talk to people about your dreams. So I spoke to Dennis and I said, look, Dennis, I've got an idea. I would love to take students abroad. And the Beatles went to New York. They came back and they were big. George Michael went to New York and they came back and they were big. You get an idea? And I'm thinking to myself, if I go to New York and I come back, I may be big. So I sat there, and this is 2 years ago. I said to Dennis, let's take a group of students to New York. And he said, how are we going to do it? Where do we get the money? And yet again, my friends, my colleagues, my extended creative family came to the rescue. We got an airline company to sponsor the flights over there. We got architectural practices to give us money to go to New York. We had to apply to get the students applied to come to us. And we had the first year, 2022, we had 80 students plus. We could only take 10 students. So, and I am not on the selection committee for obvious reasons, because I get calls. Yeah, Neil, what do you think? No, I'm not on the selection committee. I cannot give you the heads up. Be yourself. So the first year, it was a tremendous success. We took students to New York. They absolutely loved it, enjoyed it for bits. And it was based on a program. And I don't know if you've ever been to New York. If you go to New York, it's like every movie you've seen. It's like Friends with Benefits. It's like Tiffany. It's like, every single movie you've seen. And there's the buildings, there's the places, architecture. It's a gold mine. And the students absolutely loved it. One young lady, an Asian young lady, she said to me, Neil, I think I feel a bit uncomfortable. I said, look, if you feel uncomfortable, I will come with you, And she said, I want to visit sunrise on the Brooklyn Bridge. And so I said to her, I will go with you. But we went out to a party the night before. You got the idea. And so we went out to a party the night before, and we was all out. We came in early-ish, and she said, I want to go to Brooklyn Bridge. I said, look, wake me up, just buzz me, wake me up, and I will come with you to Brooklyn Bridge. She left me sleeping, and she went to Brooklyn Bridge and this is what she was empowered with. She had evolved into a person that had the confidence to walk the Brooklyn Bridge at 5 in the morning and see the sunrise. So this is what we do. We empower people. 101%. And so I'll give you 2 examples of students who are absolutely dear to me. One of them, one young man, I said to him, when I first went to this school, I said to him, right, the first lesson, I said, right, you can make anything you want. And when you see young people's eyes, open up, he looked at me, he was in the age 12, you can make anything you want. Right, he said, I want to make anything. He said, anything. His eyes opened up like this. I said, anything. He was absolutely brilliant. Now this young man, he is an architect for a local authority in London. Another young man who came along, now he's the first person that was in the diversity of the events Biennale this year. And now he's one of few people that's won a scholarship at Harvard University to study this year. So as you can see, it is amazing what young people can do. So I'm just an ordinary teacher, and I'm going to tell you, I made this poem. I'm an ordinary teacher by those who choose to go. I'm just an ordinary teacher. But from this ordinary teacher has come exceptional students and extraordinary students. These extraordinary students, they're brave, they're battered, and they've achieved far beyond what the ordinary system would have you believe. These extraordinary students are creative. They have a passion for architecture, but most of all, they have a passion for life, far beyond what the ordinary system would have you believe. I've seen these extraordinary students grow up with partners, get married, have babies, not necessarily in that order. And I do believe that these extraordinary students have achieved far beyond what the ordinary system would have you believe. Maybe, just maybe, it's good to be an ordinary teacher producing extraordinary students and an ordinary system that does not believe. Thank you.